van builders, hope you are all well and welcome to this plus 10 update from the 2 plus 10 playlist, building a camper van a slightly different way. And regulars will always know what we mean by that. Basically, we built out the inside of the van, the lockers, the cabinets, the heat, water, power module, the ensuite, pretty much everything before actually buying the base van itself. Completely nuts, you might be thinking. There's a link up there to say why we did it this way on this particular van. Okay, so I think last time we were looking at the kitchen locker run, so the aircraft locker run, which included the DC panel and the AC panel. Today what we're going to do is look at the actual base units, so the cupboards, the sink, hob, the fridge unit, all that sort of thing. But of course inside that, if you remember from way back, inside that I had the heat, water and power module, which we built out and tested before actually buying the base van. And there's a video there of us testing out the Victron stuff, all the chargers. And there's another one there with the inverter. We actually cooked 3 meals in the workshop off that kit. So it's all tested. It's taken a bit longer than I anticipated. I think last time I said this one would be out 2 weeks' time. I got it wrong. It's more like 3 weeks' time, because actually, as I've been fitting the kitchen units that we brought back from the store, I've been wiring up as well, and threading transits and getting cables and conduits take a lot longer than I kind of knew, but I was a bit over optimistic. But anyway, it means I've got power in the van now as well, which is all jolly exciting. Anyway, less of the waffle, let's hop into the van. Okay, so looks like a massive work surface for a camper van. Of course, it's very deceptive. There's a lot of deception going on in this van because there's stuff underneath. So whilst you might have lots of sort of space to prepare a massive banquet, you're going to have to juggle things around, well I am, because of course the sink goes in there. That's just a sort of storage space, and the induction hob goes there. You saw that being built in the workshop months ago. There's a link up there. And on here we've got a fixed work surface, and here's another little storage caddy. Note the cock up, note the cock up. That socket is too low. I'm not going to bother about it. I can just get the pots and pans out there quite easily. You see, I've used that same 3-dimensional foamy sort of surface covering that I've used on the wall cards and the ceiling panels that you saw in that previous video. There's a link to the offside flank there. I'm talking about that. And going down, we've got some cupboards. Now again, you might remember from the workshop, all the electrical stuff and the water stuff is inside there, or basically buried in the kitchen unit right in front, which I refer to as cabinet 1. And so those cupboards are not very deep, but they're fine for things like beer. Okay, so let's see if I can do this without getting in the way of the camera. That one there, you may remember from the workshop, was the beer and wine caddy. Loads of cans can go in there, and bottles of wine. And on this side, just a very shallow cupboard to put bits and pieces in, because all the electrical, water and heating stuff is in there underneath. So the microwave's going to go in there. I've got it, I just haven't got around to fitting because I've got other stuff to do. 2 sets of drawers underneath. Open those up. That one being quite deep, of course, because it's going right way back. That one, of course, very shallow because there's a wheel arch in there, but I can get pots and pans and that sort of stuff, fine. But anyway, starting to look like a camper van now, isn't it? Right, going to hop into the workshop to tell you about how we're going to finish this series, because we're coming to the end. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the series. For those who've been following, if you remember right away at the very first, I'm going to kick this off, I said this is not about teaching people how to build a van. Who am I to teach? There's much better craftsmen out there than me. It wasn't about just following my van build like other people do, which is fine. It was focusing on this bizarre concept of building out the inside of the van before I bought the base van, just in case that was of interest. But we're pretty well done there now, because there's some things, there's only a couple of things left that's got to be built, but can only be done in the van, which I haven't done them. So it's the little triangular wardrobe, half-height wardrobe, that's going to go just in front of the door. What else? The speaker cabinet's going to go above the door. Can only do that in the van because I didn't know the width. And possibly I'm going to put some, make a locker out the overhead thing. I'm going to put some doors on there. So there's no point in me just dragging all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do all that and give you a quick look for completeness sake. I've got the floor to go down and a few other things, but I'll do all that and then we'll do a final look around the van, and that will be the end of it. And you know, thanks for following in. Those people have been dropping emails to me all the time saying, you know, this, that, and the other. Been amazing, my subscribers. Not a lot of haters out there, not a lot of naysayers. Plenty of people have been saying, oh, good luck, mate. I wouldn't do it that way. I think you're going to come a cropper, but you know, good luck, which is fine. There's been a few naysayers, not from my subscriber base, I suspect. But anyway, it's been a fun journey, and thank you for joining me. But so coming to the end soon, and it's probably about sort of 3 or 4 weeks now before the next video comes out, because I've got to do all these sort of things that I'm going to join up into one video. But I'll catch you in that one.